Hi everyone, welcome to Good as It Gets, the Oscar play from 1997. And our cast today includes myself as scene description, Anne, who will be joining us as Nora and others, Eric, who will be reading as Frank and Vincent and others, George, who will be reading as Melvin, Katie will be reading as Beverly and others, and Travis, who is reading as Simon and others. Heather is here as Jackie and Zoe and others, and Paul will be reading as Carol, and this is As Good as It Gets. Fade in interior apartment building, New York, hallway night. Angle on apartment doorway. As it opens, an enormously sweet-faced elder woman steps out, bundled up against the cold, turning back to call inside to the unseen love of her long life. I'm just going to get some flowers, dear. I'll be back in 20 minutes. It's tulip season today. I'm so happy. And now she turns and faces the hallway. Her sweetness dissolves in a flash, replaced by repulsion. And that quickly she has reversed herself and re-entered her apartment, closing the door as we consider her vacated. Point of view, Melvin Udall in the hallway. Well past 50, unliked, unloved, unsettling, a huge pain in the ass to everyone he's ever met. Right now, all his considerable talent and strength is totally focused on seducing a tiny dog into the elevator door he holds open.
Come here, sweetheart, come on.
On dog, sniffing at a particular spot on the hall carpeting. Melvin lets the elevator door close and advances on the mutt, who ignores him.
Want to go for a ride? Okay, sweetie.
The dog lifts his leg at the precise moment Melvin lunges and picks him up with a decisive heft. So that dog urine squirts the hall wall for a second or two. The dog, sensing a kindred spirit, starts to growl and bark.
You have pissed your last floor, you dog-eared monkey.
The dog takes a snap at Melvin, but the man is much meaner and quicker than the dog. He holds his snout shut with his hand and reaches for the door of the garbage chute.
I'll bet you wish you were some sort of real dog now, huh? Don't worry, this is New York. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, you know, you ugly, smelly fuck.
And with that, he stuffs him in the garbage chute and lets go. We hear a fading series of pleading ohs from the dog fade into nothingness as another apartment door opens, emitting the loud sounds of a party and Simon Nye, early 30s. Simon has been born and raised with Gothic horror, and it's strange that what the stew of trauma has produced is a gifted, decent man. Interior apartment building, New York hallway night. Frantic, he bolts into the hall. Melvin is just about to enter his apartment.
Dal, here, good doggy.
He notices Melvin at the far end of the hall.
Zerdal, excuse me, hey there. Have you seen Verdal?
What's he look like?
Melvin starts to walk back to his apartment door, which is directly opposite Simon's.
My dog, you know, I mean my little dog with the adorable face, and don't you know what my dog looks like?
Oh, I got it. You're talking about your dog. I thought that was the name of the colored man I've been seeing in the hall.
Simon looks off screen and sees his black friend.
Which color was that?
Thick molasses with one of those wide noses, you know, perfect for smelling trouble in prison.
Simon has had it.
Frank Satches, Melvin, Udall.
How you doing?
Frank shows my work, Mr. Udall. I think you know that.
Simon, you've got to get dressed.
What I know is that as long as you keep your work zipped up around me, I don't give a fuck what or where you shove your show. Are we done being neighbors for now?
Do you still think I was exaggerating?
Frank can only smile.
Definitely. A package you don't want to open or touch.
Hey, I hope you find him. I love that dog.
Simon, terminally non-confrontational, still finds himself compelled to turn back toward Melvin.
You don't love anything, Mr. Udall.
Simon closes his door, leaving Melvin alone in the hallway.
I love throwing your dog down the garbage.
Interior Melvin's apartment bathroom. Melvin locks and unlocks and locks his door, counting to 5 with each lock. He turns the lights quickly off and on 5 times and makes a straight line towards his bathroom, where he turns on the hot water and opens the medicine chest. Interior medicine chest. Scores of neatly stacked Neutrogena soaps. He unwraps one, begins to wash, discards it, goes through the process 2 more times. Interior Simon's apartment entrance hall. A group of partygoers enters, followed by a handyman holding Verdell, who looks and finds Simon, who looks up, lights up, and tears up as he moves quickly toward the group and his dog.
Thank the good Lord. Wow, my honey, where have you been?
Oh, he always liked me.
As Simon goes past him to take the dog from the handyman, Jackie, Frank's junior partner, barking a laugh at the partygoer, Verdell barking some love. As the others greet Simon, Jackie directs the group inside. Jackie lingers, looking on affectionately as Simon picks some awful sticky gunk from the dog's body. He puts Verdell down to reach for his wallet. The tiny dog yaps in protest.
Just for a second, okay?
The dog yaps, no. Simon, delighted, picks him up again.
Look at him. Where was little baby?
In the basement garbage bin, eating diaper shit.
Simon reacts, then notices the handyman tongue-in-cheek trying to suppress his amusement.
Go ahead, John. You earned your fun. How do you get down in the basement? I mean, even if he got on the elevator, how can he get?
Maybe some nice neighbor shoved him down the garbage chute.
My God, no.
He stares out, Frank frustrated following. Interior Melvin's apartment office. Quiet, safe. Just Melvin's voice reading aloud as he writes.
This is what you live for, he said. 2 heads on a pillow where there is only the safety of being with each other. How, she wondered, could she find such hope in the most shameful part of her?
He barely reacts as we hear a loud knocking as he reads.
Mr. Udall?
But Melvin's into it, his fingers flying as he reads.
At last, she was able to define love. Love was...
More knocking.
Mr. Udall, I'd like to talk to you, please.
Love was...
He almost has the rest of the sentence, the meaning of love, but the knocking throws him.
Oh, son of a bitch, pansy-ass stool pusher.
He bursts from his chair. Interior apartment building, New York hallway, as Simon hears Melvin through the door and takes a step back. Melvin throws open the door. He looks demonic.
Yes!
Maybe this can wait.
Frank signals encouragement as Melvin opens the door.
I found Verdell, Mr. Udall.
Well, that's a load off.
Melvin walks back into the apartment and is about to close the door when Simon has another burst of bravery.
Did you do something to him?
Do you realize that I work at home?
No, I didn't.
Do you like to be interrupted when you are dancing around your little garden?
No, actually, I even shut the phone off and put a little piece of cardboard in the ringer so no one can just buzz me from...
Well, I work all of the time, so never again interrupt me, okay? I mean never, not 30 years from now, not if there's a fire, not even if you hear a thud from inside my home, and a week later there's a smell from there that can only come from a decaying human body, and you have to hold a hanky against your face because the stench is so thick you think you're going to faint. Even then, don't come knocking. Or if it's election night and you're excited and you want to celebrate because some fudge packer you dated has been elected the first queer president of the United States, and he's going to put you up in Camp David, and you just want to share the moment with someone. Don't knock. Not on this door. Not for anything. You got me, sweetheart?
Yes, it's not... It's a little point you're making.
Okay.
Melvin enters his apartment and slams the door shut.
So the theory of confrontations is that now he'll think twice before messing with me?
Frank smiles affectionately. Simon turns serious.
He's genuinely upsetting, isn't he?
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Frank waits till Simon exits scene and then knocks loudly on Melvin's door. There is a sharp change in his demeanor.
Oh, I'm pissed. Now I am really pissed.
Frank waits patiently as Melvin jerks his door back open. Frank immediately grabs Melvin by his shirt and jerks him forward.
Oh,
Is scared, operating on survival mode.
no touch, no touch, no touch.
You may think you can intimidate the whole world with your attitude, but I grew up in hell. My grandmother had more attitude. You don't intimidate me.
Police, police, fucking crooked police, donut munching morons, help me. Assault and battery, and you're black.
Now, I like Simon. I like him enough to batter your unrecognizable if you verbally abuse him or so much as touch his dog again. Meanwhile, I'll try and think how you can make this up to him. I hate doing this. I'm an art dealer. Have a nice day. Party!
He tosses Melvin back and walks out. Melvin straightens his shirt and he steps out into the hall. Frank smiles as he re-enters the other apartment. Melvin appears impressed. Interior New York City street near Carol's Restaurant Day. A crowded and dirty street, and here comes Melvin. His walk is brisk, an animal wanting to pass through the danger without giving off the scent of its mounting fear. At times he places his palms together and extends his arms, cutting a path through people. We will be very pointed in the fact that he avoids stepping on cracks. Closer on Melvin, his eyes focused on the terrain. Interior Carol's Restaurant. Angle on waitress. Carol Connolly talks with another mother, a customer. You would not guess it, but her working hours tend to be the most carefree time of the day. She is telling a story about her son for the umpteenth time.
Look at you. You're all better.
It's a new medication.
You know my son's stuff, right?
The mother nods too sympathetically that she does, but Carol interrupts her.
No. I got a date tonight. I'm walking out the door this morning and he says to me, Mom, I promise not to get one of my fevers or coughs during your date.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Little blonde angel. Eat everything.
Melvin enters and moves past several empty tables to a table towards the back and is obviously surprised to find a man and a woman sitting at the table.
Uh-huh.
Let me find out who's the woman here.
Nice night tonight. Yeah.
Sorry, is that me? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay, sorry, yo. Is that where we are?
It just came out of me.
Please stand by.
It just came out of me. I said you love me the way a remote control loves TV, as long as I switch every time.
Wonderful.
You know, people are talking metaphors can shampoo my crotch. Eat up.
They turn away. Melvin walks a few paces to the waitress station, where two waitresses, Lisa and Carol, are talking. Pay me back next week.
I owe you. I told you today. Them's the rules. Oh, excuse me, Melvin.
She puts two hands lightly on his waist to move him out of the way. He gulps at the contact, since no one else ever touches him, but covers his self-consciousness.
I'm starving.
Will you please take it?
Melvin intentionally moves a step in her path with stealth, so that she must touch him again to get him out of the way. This way you take a cab home so you have time to get ready for the date.
Ready is not my problem.
He barks a mirthless, though hearty laugh. If we could read Melvin, which we can't, we'd see him unsettled by the date talk. To Carol, he is as harmless as furniture.
Go sit down. You know you're not allowed back here. Spencer's more excited about it than I am. He says, Mom, I promise not to get a fever or cough during your date.
The other waitresses and the short order cook all go, "Aw."
I know, he's just the best.
I've got Jews at my table.
It's not your table. It's the place's table. Behave. This once, you can sit at someone else's station.
The two waitresses signal their protests.
Or you can just wait your turn.
Melvin walks back into the restaurant proper. He hangs near their table. His discomfort builds in his limbo. Then,
How much more you got to eat? Appetite isn't as big as your noses, is it?
What?
Let's go.
the woman starts to protest.
Let's leave. We're going.
Melvin sits down at the table and takes from his pocket a plastic eating utensil set, wrapped and sealed. As he opens his utensils,
Brian says he doesn't care how long you've been coming here. You ever act like this again, you're barred for life. I'm gonna miss the excitement, but I'll handle it.
There is in Carol's attitude toward Melvin some ingredient of self-satisfaction, that she is the only one in the place who can handle him. She starts to clear the table.
The table's fine if it had some cholesterol on it. 2 sausages, 6 bacon strips, fries, 3 eggs over easy, and coffee.
You're gonna die, presume at that diet. You know that.
Oh, we're all gonna die soon. I will, you will, and it sure sounds like your son will.
On Carol, stunned. Some crazy street freak has slipped under her perfect guard and momentarily devastated her. Melvin senses that he's gone way too far. He wipes his knife.
If you ever mention my son again, you will never be able to eat here again. Do you understand? Give me some sign you understand, or leave now. Do you understand me, you crazy freak? Do you?
A beat, and then Melvin nods, hardly breathing, backing down.
Okay, I'll get your order.
She walks away. Melvin watches her, biting his lower lip. He takes some napkins and cleans the table off himself. Interior Carol's apartment night. She is underneath a younger, cuter man on the living room sofa. He is expertly into foreplay. She begins to make noises as she responds, each time startling herself with her own noise and trying to rein it in. She's 2 women here, one speeding the pleasure highway, the other, functional mom so blown away by the emergence of her sexy self that she laughs. The young man stops and looks at her. What?
I don't know. You got me.
His eyes try to burn into hers. She's getting excited, but doesn't know how to play it. He pushes one of the fingers of his hand, caressing her face toward her mouth. She closes her teeth. His fingers attempt another, opening her mouth. She stops him.
Let me just do whatever I do by myself. I'll catch up to you someplace, I promise. Oh no, I don't look like that. No, I'm sorry if I'm a goof.
And so with earnestness and caring, she has transformed the sex into something more intimate. And talk about egg in your beer, better. Things are getting wild when we hear from the distance a child, Spencer, calling and coughing.
Kissing boys. Oh my.
Carol pulls her head away as Spencer's call continues.
Grandma.
Maybe you better check.
Like, what did you think I was going to do?
Interior hallway, Beverly's room, night. Pulling herself together, she goes off down the hallway. She ducks her head into the first bedroom where her mother, Beverly, is listening to music on headphones. She takes them off when she sees Carol, then hears the cough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just hearing everything you were doing. So I put these on to give you some privacy.
Carol now goes into her son's room. Interior, Spencer's room, night. The room is a monument to horrible, sleepless nights. 2 drugstore DVDs.
Yeah, with karaoke, guys.
A nebulizer breathing contraption, a waste basket, a nightstand filled with medicine, a blood pressure kit, along with some stacks of 7-year-old toys, and a small TV wedged into the tiny space.
I'm sorry.
Don't be silly. How bad?
Not bad.
Carol feels his head. That's okay. Then he coughs, trying to suppress it. Then a bigger cough. They each know what that signals. She brings up a wastebasket as he throws up. She comforts him. He apologizes. She loves him. Interior living room night. As she re-enters, he is taking a cigarette from a pack.
You can't smoke. You can't take smoke.
He palms the cigarette, resumes making out. His hand squeezes her breast. Then he stops and looks at her hand. She looks down and sees a bit of throw up he picked up while healing her, and then notices him looking at her with extreme distaste. He barks a laugh to cover her embarrassment, but speaks the truth.
Oh God, I don't even notice anymore.
She crosses to the kitchen for a dish towel, tries to make light.
That'll teach you.
Don't apologize.
That wasn't an apology.
She notices his demeanor, how he avoids looking at her, how uncomfortable he is.
Hey, this is just a little throw up. It's nothing to be so embarrassed about. Really. Thanks for the dinner. Let me write down which train you take to get back.
No way. She brightened. I'll take a cab. She deflates as he moves past her. Too much reality for a Friday night. Exterior Holland Tunnel night. A cold night in hell. 3 young men bullshit near the approach to the tunnel. Their names are Vincent, Evan, and Doug, who is the oldest at 28. Vincent is dopey and the most likable of the gritty little trio.
Why is every customer surprised I read books?
You read books?
Hey, oh wow, I know this guy. Look, he even bought me dinner.
They all focus on a black BMW as it slows and stops in front of them. Carl checks them out carefully through the front window. He is talking from the speakerphone.
Look, I just can't. I promise Simon, I don't find him a model.
Carl, take off the speaker. Did I tell you that these are house seats? Come on. You could use a break. Hello, Carl. Are you there? Hello? Seeing the hustlers.
I just found a model.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, hi, remember?
I only need one.
You picked me up maybe a few weeks, I don't know, some time ago. You were very flattering about our encounter.
Maybe just you and me. But this is for a painting. I need a pretty face.
Carl beckons to Vincent, who joins him, trying to conceal his pride at winning this lowest end of beauty contest. Interior Simon's apartment day. There is a knock at the door. Simon crosses to answer. He is more relaxed than we've seen him, a man at peace, humming to his favorite music, talking to his dog who scratches at the door. Simon opens the door to Vincent.
Sorry, I was out in the studio doing some work and I forgot about our appointment.
He leads the way back to the studio, chatting away, unaware that Vincent is disrobing as he follows him and eyeing the expensive apartment.
I usually make such a big deal out of picking models, but Carl's so thorough. I'll bet he drove you nuts checking your references.
And he turns and sees the naked model.
This isn't a nude.
Vincent moves back to retrieve his clothes.
Just kidding around. So much for love.
Interior Simon's apartment studio minutes later. Vincent is striking blatantly sexual poses to the increasingly uneasy Simon.
Exactly. What is your previous experience? Your previous experience?
Don't ever say it like that again, Travis.
Sorry.
How about that pose? This is not fun. Give me some direction.
Vincent has instinctively put Simon on the defensive. He tries not to show it.
Nothing. I just watch till something strikes me. Do anything you think of. Try different thing until I say hold that pose. Then just try and comfortably hold it.
The fact that you haven't said hold it means I haven't done it right. Is that correct? I haven't done it right.
No. Okay. What I do is watch and wait for You ever watch someone who doesn't know you're watching, and an old woman on a bus, kids going to school, and you see this flash come over them, and you know immediately that it has nothing to do with anything external, that it's in response to a private thought they just had. They're just sort of realer and more alive. And when you notice and when you notice it is, so are you. And if you look at someone long enough, you discover their humanity.
Vincent's slack-jawed expression changes. He feels an intellectual tingle to be having this conversation.
I know exactly what you mean.
There's a joy in him at this moment, a bit of purity.
Hold it.
Vincent does so, hums a bit of satisfaction to celebrate. Interior restaurant day. Carol and Leslie, another waitress, are waiting for their order at the cappuccino bar. Leslie is telling the story of the traumatic audition which may have turned her life. Carol is rapt. As they pass Melvin, she does not break stride nor give him notice. Though she is aware of him, resentfully so, hard not to be since he's giving a moment-to-moment commentary on her every action.
Clippity clop, she has to pretend she doesn't hear me, listening to the story from the upset friend. Now she drops off the cappuccino and smiles at the putt set, who doesn't even say thank you. No, the putt set wanted the whipped cream, so back she goes, and now she has to pass him again, and it's getting tougher to make believe.
Okay. Melvin stops. She passes behind him to deliver an uncharacteristic rabbit punch.
What's with the plastic picnicware? Why not try ours? Afraid it isn't clean?
I see the help. Judgment call.
Just give yourself a little pep talk. Must try other people's clean silverware as part of the fun of dining out.
What's wrong with your son anyway?
Why do you care?
Melvin just looks at her.
He's got to fight hard to breathe. His asthma can just shoot off the charts. He's allergic to dust, and this is New York, and his immune system bails on him when there's trouble. So an ear infection. Is this bothering you?
No.
An ear infection can send us to the emergency room, maybe 5-6 times a month, where I get whatever 9-year-old they just made a doctor. Nice chatting with you.
But his name?
Spencer.
Okay.
Spence.
She exits. Interior Simon's apartment studio day, several weeks later. The greenhouse studio is a busy sanctuary as Simon puts the finishing touches on his painting of Vincent. A beat and then a strange figure crosses between the camera and the scene, gone before we can examine him further.
You can put anything on you want. I might be sort of done here.
Vincent quickly and expertly picks a CD to meet his immediate needs and puts it on, dying a little at every second of silence during the transition. Then loud music plays, Vincent even goosing the volume. Simon does a take. He gestures Vincent to take it down, which Vincent does. Angle apartment, where it is not clear that a robbery, I guess that's where it is now clear that a robbery is now in progress. Vincent's two friends from the street sweeping all objects into large sacks. One of them, Doug, pauses to look past the terrace to the studio.
Ah, lucky Vinny. He's a painting.
Interior Simon's apartment studio day. Music plays, Simon cleaning up his stuff.
So you're practically finished, huh?
Yes. Well, there's one more stage, trying to figure out if it's any good.
Simon sneaks a look at the canvas from another perspective. He focuses. Then the smallest shy nod of self-approval. He's finished. Vincent is desperate to distract. Close on the dog as Verdell awakens, stretches, and pricks his ears. He moves quickly to the closed door and starts to frantically scratch, attracting Simon's attention. As Simon keeps walking, Vincent shoots over to the canvas.
Wait, I want to see the painting.
Just a second. He has to go.
Please, no.
Simon opens the door and Verdell shoots out like a bullet. Vincent pauses before the painting and is thrown to see his humanity captured, to be immortalized. Interior Simon's apartment living room day. Doug and Evan are nearly to the front door as Verdell stops them with the vicious growl and bark. Simon is distracted, looking down at his pets so that he continues to walk toward Doug and Evan, not noticing them. Vincent, terribly afraid, appears behind Simon.
Matter, sweetheart.
He instantly stops, shocked, frozen. His eyes on the stranger. Doug looking at him. Now Vincent comes in. Doug greets him.
Yo.
Simon turns to Vincent.
Why are you doing this?
No. Hey, that painting in there. I just want to tell you.
Now Evan appears holding a brass hat rack.
What are you doing? Cruising him?
And he uses the hat rack first as a spear, then as a club, as a brief savage attack begins. On Verdell, as he starts to go toward Simon and then scurries back in fear, the three attackers leave. Now silence, a single bark from Verdell. Interior apartment building, New York hallway. A mass of official people clutter the halls as the gurney is whisked down the elevator. It's impossible to tell if Simon is awake or dead. Melvin is standing against the wall near the door of a cop. Ray interviewing him. Okay, so you call 911 and don't leave your name. Even a dumb geezer should know that emergency automatically pulls up your name. How come you made a mistake like that?
How come you're pretending to do cop work? Because I don't think you could find your ass if you were spotted the hole.
What?
Just move on. No one here killed him.
Oh, is he dead?
Ask him.
We will if we can, and if we can't, we'll come back and ask you again and again. Interior apartment building, New York hallway, another angle. Frank standing upset, anxious, holding a dog bowl, a leash on Verdell, who is more upset, making pathetic little crying sounds. As we focus briefly on Verdell, Frank is talking to the sweet-faced woman. I've been praying for him since I heard.
So I've got to get to the hospital. If you could take the dog just for tonight.
Oh, Lord, I've got all these antique knickknacks, or else I'd be glad.
Maybe if you kept locked in the bathroom? No? Okay, thanks. Oh, bitch. Damn dog.
A short laugh makes us realize that Melvin has witnessed and enjoyed Frank's hostile mutterings. Verdell starts whimpering as a pissed Frank approaches his mugger.
You're taking him. Yes, you're taking him. This will clear the books. One night, you want to say no to me? Try. Because I've never felt as nuts as I do right this second. I almost want you to try saying no.
I'm not saying nothing to you.
Thanks for looking after him.
Frank pushes open the door to Melvin's apartment and places Verdell inside. Interior Melvin's apartment. Music in as Frank pulls the door partially closed to block Verdell's escape. The music represents Verdell's state of mind, trapped in the apartment of a man who tried to kill him. We stay with the dog during the off-screen dialogue. As his head turns in panic, we see his various points of view as the dialogue continues off-screen.
Hey, where are you going? You can't do this. I can't take a dog. Nobody's ever been in here before.
You don't want to mess with me today. I'll figure something else out tomorrow.
Interior Melvin's apartment living room. Melvin enters. The dog cowers in the shadows. Now Melvin sees him.
You're dead.
Verdell stops, gives Melvin wide berth, slinking along the far wall. Melvin finds Verdell's fear of him a bit calming.
I don't have dog food and I won't want dog food here. You'll eat what we eat. You'll have what we eat.
Melvin exits. Verdell is in a major funk. Interior Melvin's apartment kitchen. Melvin breaks 2 eggs over a large pile of prime chopped meat, sticks raw pieces of bacon into it, and exits the room.
Don't you touch anything.
Interior Melvin's apartment living room. Verdell cringing as his new master approaches. Music continues ominously. Melvin sets the bowl down and exits. Verdell breathes excitedly, though looking alternately in all directions. His recent past making him suspect this feast is a trick. He sniffs cautiously, then dives in, gothic music changing on a dime to score of Rapture. From off screen, we hear the sound of running water as steam escapes the bathroom. Then music out as Melvin returns, ignoring Verdell as he sits at the piano and his one key repeatedly. It's odd. Verdell shifts his body so he is eating from the bowl with his tail to Melvin. Then Melvin begins to sing Monty Python's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life with its cheerful whistle refrain. Verdell looks over with surprise and pleasure, but just as mood lifts and warmth threatens, Melvin stops abruptly, turns out the lights, and exits. Interior hospital corridor day. Frank on the phone.
Okay, put the solid red dots on 3 of them and the blue dots on 2 others. Well, we're not going to sell anything if they know we're 2 weeks into a show and have no sales. No, you can't reduce a price at this stage. We're in free fall here. Any calls?
We can see him.
I'll meet you in there.
Interior hospital room as Jackie enters.
How you doing, great one?
I haven't looked at myself yet. I figured I could tell from your reaction.
He turns toward her. Much of his body, taped, is painting hand wrapped. Simon's face is something of a horror, swollen, one savage discolored cut. We are into yuck. The sight is a jolt. Jackie breaks into tears, sobs actually.
That bad, huh?
They share a helpless half laugh. Then Frank appears in the doorway.
Hey. Bad, but temporary. The nurses say it's much better than you looked 3 weeks ago. The hand will come back, they're sure.
Jackie, will you hand me the mirror?
She starts to hand him a large mirror from her purse, then thinks better of it.
Wait, I have a smaller one.
But he holds out his hand and she gives him the mirror. He starts to look, then thinks better of it.
So what's new anyway? How's Verdell?
Your neighbor, Erdl, he's taking care of him?
How could you do that? He'll hurt him.
No, I promise, not a chance. I own this guy. There was no one else. I'm on the move too much, trust me.
You are very certain my dog is okay because you have no idea.
Yes, your dog is fine, Simon.
Simon holds the mirror poised for a moment of discovery. Then he takes a breath, like someone about to dive underwater. First, a small, mumbled pep talk to himself.
Okay, waiting gives the devil time now.
He quickly brings his hand up and looks in the mirror. He is startled. The bottom drops out, leaving him awed by his misfortune.
Oh my, where'd I go?
Exterior Carol's Restaurant Day, an establishing shot featuring Verdell tied up in front. Interior Carol's Restaurant Day, Melvin finishing a plate of eggs, bacon, and sausage with his plastic knife and fork. Carol looks totally beat as she sets down a cup of coffee. Melvin is craning periodically to keep an eye on his dog.
So, what are you doing with the dog?
Suckered in, set up, pushed around.
You're not worried that someone might take him?
Well, not until now, for Christ's sake.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll sit here.
He changes tables for the first time ever so that he can keep an eye on Verdell. Carol is amazed.
You know, he's a little dog. Next time, if Brian's not here, you can bring him in.
How old are you?
Oh, please.
If I had to guess by your eyes, I'd say you were 50.
Carol looks at him.
If I had to guess by your eyes, I'd say you were kind. So much for eyes. As long as you bring up age. How old are you?
No, otherwise you're not ugly.
Okay, pal. I accept the compliment, but go easy. My knees start a knocking when you turn on the charm full blast.
I mean, what's with the dark?
He indicates the bags under her eyes by tapping his own.
Dawn Patrol. Major Dawn Patrol. Lost it. It just went boom. My life is a shit show. Just losing it. Page number. Apologies.
28 of the PDF, yeah.
Thank you, friends. It just went zoom on me. My son had a full-blown attack. And this time, for extra fun, they gave us the wrong antibiotics. So I get him home.
She reaches for the plate of uneaten bacon. He goes nuts.
No, leave it. The bacon's for the dog.
She is jolted by the insensitivity of his interruption, but he doesn't notice, turning almost chatty.
Last week I was playing the piano for him and he likes it. So I decided I'm going to make a little joke.
You all set here?
Melvin nods, a bit frustrated about not being able to finish his dog story. He pockets the remaining bacon. Exterior New York Street Day. As Melvin walks Verdell back home, we notice perhaps a beat before Melvin, a remarkable event. Verdell is avoiding the cracks in the sidewalk.
It's a beautiful day for our walk.
Melvin slows, observes the dog mirroring his behavior. On Verdell, again carefully placing his paws to avoid a crack in the sidewalk. Melvin laughs out loud, puts on plastic gloves hurriedly so he can lift the dog to eye level.
Don't you be like me. Don't you be like me. You stay just the way you are because you're a perfect man. I'm going to take you home and get you something to eat, what you love.
Another angle.
Oh, I like to be treated like that.
Let's go home and do some writing.
Interior Melvin's apartment, living room night. Melvin wailing away at his computer, reading to himself with great satisfaction as he goes. Verdell sits at his chair, fascinated by the spread of the master's fingers on the keyboard. He reads his writing aloud to the dog.
He turned off the gas jets and carried her outside. He kissed her brow, and when her eyes opened and found him, he said, "There are easier ways to break a date." She laughed. The only sensible ambition he had ever known was now realized. He had made the girl happy. And what a girl. "You've saved my life," she said. "You better make it up to me."
Exhilarated by his own words, he shuts down the machine.
Done. Yes. I hate the doggy. Yes, I hate the doggy.
He exits.
62 books. Done.
As the dog goes shooting off in the kitchen, we leave our couple's playtime for interior Simon's apartment, bedroom, living room, hallway, day. As the rookie invalid awakens in precisely the same foul mood he'd had all on falling asleep, in the living room, the maid Nora is talking with Jackie. We catch only a few words as they review Simon's mounting pile of bills and talk of how long Nora can stay on. Interior New York apartment building hallway day. Frank knocking on Melvin's door. He opens it.
How's Verdell doing?
He's a pain in the ass.
And he looks over at the dog. Verdell trots over without realizing it. Melvin smiles at him to Frank's surprise.
Simon's home. I was sort of hoping you could keep the dog until he's had a chance to think and adjust.
Oh, well, I mean, it's been 5 weeks. And if you won't kill me.
No, he wants him back. He'll be by tomorrow.
Okay, by me.
Frank exits. Interior Melvin's apartment living room. Melvin sits. Verdell looks up at him. Melvin walks to the door. He turns the lock, then checks that they are locked, checks again to make sure, and he turned them in the correct direction. Turns from the door, then back to check once more. Then again, and again. Anguished until now he breaks briefly, the dog looking on. Interior New York building Melvin's apartment hallway. Melvin opens the door, looks at the scarred Simon in the wheelchair and shudders.
Some face they left hanging on you. Look like.
Whoa. Could you take it just a little easy, Mr. Udall?
A beat of silence as Melvin thinks whether to comply.
Thank you, Vernal. Now, Vernal, sweetheart, by the way, thanks for saving me.
I called. I never touched you. I didn't leave my name or nothing.
Vernal?
On Verdell, totally weirded out, hiding behind Melvin. Now Melvin shifts and Simon and Verdell see each other. Simon smiles at the dog. He is emotionally caught up in the reunion.
Hi, sweetheart.
Verdell isn't eager. On Simon, the first gnawing pains of rejection. Interior Simon's apartment day. Simon pats his leg, trying unsuccessfully to get Verdell to approach him. Instead, the dog goes to the door and scratches at it. Jackie starts to pick the dog up.
No, please don't force him.
You little stinker, he's given you everything.
Interior Melvin's apartment living room day. Melvin's point of view. Verdell's towel on the floor near his bowl. Back to scene. Melvin's lips compress. He sits on the piano bench and hits a few keys. Looks at Verdell's empty spot again. There are those who get the joke. Melvin is clearly one. He laughs suddenly and helplessly, even as he feels the panic rise in him. All his painstaking success in keeping the lid on, and now it threatens to blow for a reason he articulates.
Over the dog. An ugly dog.
It's hilarious, but now the humor detours. An actual sob is choked back. He gets up, following a definite pattern across the room. He's conducting a small but highest stakes fight for survival. Momentarily a scared, beaten, middle-aged man, he races out the door. Interior New York City streets. Melvin charging as fast as crack checks allow, and then turning into a building with a copper sign reading Gramercy Park Psychiatric Group.
The worst sidewalk in New York, and look where they put it.
Interior psychiatrist's office day. Melvin bursts in on the psychiatrist and emits one word.
Help!
If you want to see me, you will not do this. You will make it a
Explain to me how you can diagnose someone as obsessive compulsive disorder and then act like I have any choice in barging in.
There's not going to be a debate. You must leave.
The doctor moves into the hallway, forcing Melvin to follow.
You said you could help. What was that, a tease?
I can help you if you take the responsibility to keep regular appointments.
Change the room around.
2 years ago.
Melvin shakes his head. As if things weren't bad enough, he must go through a careful exercise noting every new element before he's at all comfortable. As he studies each object, the doctor is professionally intrigued despite himself.
I also regrew my beard, but you're not interested in changes in me. So it's like I always told you, when it comes to people, you must.
I don't have this mountain of available time. I got to get to my restaurant on time. Do you know how hard it is for me to be here?
Yes.
Melvin
No.
walks through the office. Interior psychiatrist waiting room day. More patients in the almost crowded waiting room. Melvin passes through, visibly drawn and upset. He stops, eyes on them. Then,
what if this is as good as it gets?
They look stricken. He exits. Interior Carol's restaurant day. As he walks to his booth and sits down, enormous relief. Cheryl, a heavyset waitress, reluctantly moves to his table, unseen by Melvin as he takes out his utensils and arranges them. In a corner booth, 4 big transit authority police are having a meal together. Cheryl looks at his utensils.
What the heck are those for?
No. Get Carol.
I'm filling in. We don't know if she's coming back. She might have to get a job closer to home.
What are you trying to do to me?
What the heck do you mean?
Elephant girl, call her or something. Just let her do my one meal here. I'll pay whatever. I'll wait. Do it.
The manager comes over, gesturing to his table of police that he can handle it all. All attention is on Melvin. Out. Be silent or leave.
I'll be quiet. Just let me wait. No problem. Get her here. Have her get me 2 sausages, 4 bacon, 2 eggs over easy, and coffee. I'm not a prick here. I'm a great customer. This day is a disaster. I can't handle this too.
Get out immediately, or there's going to be trouble. Melvin looks at the police, seizes up the hopeless situation, and rises.
There's going to be trouble.
He walks toward the door as Cheryl and all the other employees applaud his defeat. As he passes a busboy near the door, he hands him $20.
Carol's last name?
Connolly.
Exterior
Conley.
Brooklyn Street. An uncomfortable Melvin sitting on the back of a taxi. Melvin's point of view. A neighborhood in Brooklyn, a community. Melvin, ever the sharp observer, looks from the cab to see slices of community life. Men in front of a bar, parents giving their child a ride on a mechanical horse outside a local store, 2 young women discussing dating. Exterior Carol's building. As he exits, rings the bell and is buzzed in. Interior Carol's apartment building hallway. Carol opens the door just as he arrives on her landing. She holds a container of ice, washclothes, and a thermometer.
I'm hungry. You upset my whole day. I haven't eaten.
What are you doing here?
Melvin ignores the question, instead answering a charge he imagined she might make.
This is not a sexist thing. If you were a waiter, I would still be here saying,
Are you totally gone? This is my private home.
I am trying to keep emotions out of this, even though this is an important issue to me. I have strong feelings about the subject.
What subject? That I wasn't there to take crap from you and bring you eggs? Do you have any control over how creepy you allow yourself to get?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, and to prove it, I have not gotten personal, and you have. Why aren't you at work? You're not sick. You don't look sick. Just very tired and bitter.
My son is sick, okay?
Even saying the sentence, "my son is sick," pushes some emotions toward the surface, which are wasted on the crazy man at her threshold.
Well, what about your mother?
How do you know about my mother?
I hear you talk when I'm waiting.
She crosses to the sink to dump the ice. Melvin takes a step inside. Spencer, 7 and looking ill, walks into the room.
Sorry, honey, I'll be right there.
How you doing?
Spencer just stares at him.
You should answer when someone talks to you.
Carol eyes Melvin with disgust and disbelief, then emphatically gestures him to clear out. Melvin backs out the door.
Sorry, there's a limit, Melvin, and I can't handle you teaching my son manners.
She closes the door in his face, then walks up to her son and leads him back into his room. Interior Spencer's room. Camera moves towards mother and son sitting on the edge of Spencer's bed. She holds a digital thermometer to his ear. They both count down the seconds.
5,
5, 4,
3,
3,
2.
2, 1.
Bingo!
Bingo! 104.9.
We are going to treat ourselves to a cab ride.
Exterior Brooklyn sidewalk angle on Carol Day. As Carol carries her young son through a class of uniformed kids at a Catholic elementary school, she spots Melvin about to enter a cab.
Melvin, wait.
The school kids pick up the chant in unison.
Melvin, wait.
Melvin, wait. Melvin, wait.
He turns to face.
Melvin, wait.
Shut up, kids!
They immediately obey as Carol approaches him.
Melvin, give us a lift. We've got to go see our friends at the hospital.
Melvin is thrown. He pauses for a beat, then holds the rear door open as Carol hustles the kid inside. The maneuver puts the red, sweating Spencer at his face.
All right up front. Cover your mouth when you cough, kid.
Interior Brooklyn cab day. As they settle in and drive off.
Brooklyn Presbyterian Hospital, please, and quickly, please.
Exterior hospital emergency room. As Carol enters the hospital.
I owe you $3.
Melvin follows behind her as she carries her son.
Yeah, any chance you'll get back to work today?
No, stay away from me.
Interior Simon's apartment day. Verdell lies just inside the front door, whimpering for Melvin. Jackie sits across from Simon's wheelchair. She has some index cards in her lap, which she occasionally consults and shuffles.
It'd be terrible that I have to. Hey, Simon, just forget about the dog for a second.
Simon forces his attention to Jackie.
Oh, you guys are leaving?
Sorry,
Was it
what
fun?
are those cards?
Sorry, what are those cards?
Sorry, I have to.
Frank's idea. He thought I should have notes, so I did this right. Maintained focus. Didn't get emotional and tried not to terrify you.
Terrify me.
See, he's right. I need the cards. Simon, you're broke.
Angle on Verdell as their conversation continues. The dog is distressed.
The medical bill are $61,000 now. I was spoken to your parents and they didn't hang up or anything. They just said they would feel strange calling you.
Well, I can't reach them.
Verdell walks out on the terrace and looks off. He turns for...
Here, baby. What is it, Verdell? You missed the tough guy? Well, here I am. Old pissant mob, happy to see me. How about another ride down the chute? Oh, God, I don't mean it, sweetheart. I'm sorry, I know. I know.
Verdell hides behind a chair.
Frank loves you. You know that. But I've spoken to him and he feels that as a businessman with limited resources.
I'll be able to keep my apartment and studio, won't I? Just tell me.
Jackie looks at him, then thumbs for a card.
Wow.
Verdell has come near him. He reaches out a hand to pet the dog and the dog ducks. Interior Melvin's apartment day. He is trying to write. He can't. His world has been upset. He walks away from his work, a highly unusual act. He is distressed, and then an idea, and he exits. Interior publisher's office day. We are looking at Zoe, the receptionist. She is listening with interest to an off-screen conversation while answering phone calls. Premier Publishing. Yes, you write more than anyone else. Yes, you make us a lot of money, but there's someone more appropriate to...
I need this. Just say, Melvin, I'll try, okay?
Melvin, I'll try. They appear now. The woman, tall, attractive, etc. She pauses at the elevator. Now, on a pleasant note, our son got accepted at Brown. My husband...
Yeah, a great, wonderful. I don't need you to wait.
She nods, pissed, waves and leaves. As Melvin waits, Zoe summons her Moxie.
I can't resist. You usually move through here so quickly, and I have so many questions I want to ask you. You have no idea what your work means to me.
Well, what's it mean?
That somebody out there knows what it's like to be in here.
Oh, God, this is like a nightmare.
Oh, come on. Just a couple of questions. How hard is that?
As he hits the button, wipes his fingers, hits the button, etc.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man and take away reason and accountability.
The fan is jolted as the elevator opens and doors open and close. Exterior street near Carol's building. A depleted, exhausted Carol approaches her home. She is suddenly wary, sound dialed down as we move closer. Carol's point of view. A car at the curb with MD license plate. Back to scene. As Carol breaks into a run. Interior Carol's apartment building stairway. As she bounds the stairs, comes to the apartment door and jiggles with the keys, a strange present whimpering sound comes from her as she enters the apartment.
Hello? Hello?
Mrs. Connolly, I'm in here.
The worst confirmed. She moves down the narrow hallway, her innards squirting The same chemicals that drives elk opening during the hunting season. Interior Spencer's room. Day.
What? Please? Now? Tell me?
Mrs. Connolly, I'm Martin Betts, Dr. Betts.
Not your name. What are you telling me your name for? Where is he?
He's in the bathroom. He's fine.
Tell me how bad it is. I let him go out last night when it was so cool without an overshirt, just underdone with just the straps, and I know better, and I let him talk me into it. He was whining, and you don't need this. Give me a second to catch hold.
And she does so. Wow, she does. And gives us some notion of the size of her free woman and the strength it takes to subdue it, as Dr. Betts keeps reassuring her and she keeps nodding. Finally, a deep breath as Spencer enters from the bathroom. All at hyper slow speed now. Salvation is sparse.
Hi. Did you know there are doctors who come to your house?
No, I didn't. So why are you here?
Beverly, Carol's mother, enters the room. She is ebullient, which, if life allowed, would be her natural state.
I didn't know you had a secret admirer.
Huh?
You met the gift.
He's good. And I'm an expert on doctors.
Stay out of this. Doctor?
My wife is Melvin Udall's publisher. She says I have to take great care of this guy because you're urgently needed back at work. What work do you do?
Oh, waitress.
On Dr. Betts' reaction, her mother adds a saving grace.
In Manhattan.
Dr. Betts? In here.
A nurse enters.
Sorry it took so long. I don't know Brooklyn.
It's okay, Terry. Tell the lab I'd like the report back today.
Carol and her mother exchange a look of incredulity.
You're going to get the results today?
Moving shot. As we approach the doctor and Carol seated across from each other at a small table, soft voices, relaxation. Bettis is examining medicine bottles.
How long has he been having problems?
Since forever.
Have they done blood tests on him?
Yes.
Only in the emergency room or when he was well?
Emergency room only.
Have they done skin testing for allergies?
No.
They haven't done the standard scratch test where they make small injections into the skin?
No, I asked. They said it's not covered under my plan, and it's not necessary anyway.
It's amazing these things were done.
Fucking HM bastard pieces of shit. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No, actually, I think that's their technical name.
Once the tests come back, is there someone I can reach in your office for the results?
Me. My home number is on this card.
His home number.
Carol looks at her mother. They share a laugh. Beverly has a hard time stopping.
Do you want some juice or coffee or 2 female slaves?
Water. Nobody told you it might be a good idea to remove their carpeting and drapes in Spencer's room?
No.
She starts towards Spencer's room.
You don't have to do it this second. It's not dangerous or anything. It's just something that's advisable. Look, there's a lot to be checked, but hey, your son is going to feel a good deal better at the very least.
She pats his head, then embraces him with fierce intimacy.
Doc. So listen, you got to let me know about the additional costs. One way or the other, we'll figure it out.
They're considerable, but Mr. O'Dell wants to be billed.
She takes this as a blow to the heart, stomach, and groin. Interior apartments, Simon's apartment, day. Simon practices walking using his cane. A tear-stained Nora hugs him goodbye. You poor man.
Let's use just one pour, okay? Anyway, dear, thanks for everything. Forgive my recent crankiness, and as soon as things are on track again, I'll call you.
She kisses him and starts for the door, and suddenly a sharp intake of breath. She's forgotten something.
What's wrong?
Who's going to walk Verdell? Simon hadn't thought of this either.
No.
Interior apartment building, New York hallway. Nora, holding her things, knocks on Melvin's door. Melvin opens the door. Nora is still sniffling. He misinterprets.
You dead yet?
No. Would there be any way Fleetwood would be willing to walk his dog for him?
Absolutely.
Not just today. Could you do it until he gets back on his feet?
Sure thing.
You're a wonderful man. 2:00 is a good time. Here's the key in case he's asleep. Open the curtains for him so he can see God's beautiful work and knows that things like this happen for the best.
Where did they teach you to talk like this? Some Panama City sailor want a hump bar, or was today getaway day and your last shot at his whiskey? Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up.
He closes the door in her face. She stands there, thrown by the abruptness, then lifts the 2 paper shopping bags holding her things, walks back toward the elevator, pausing briefly outside Simon's door, then continues on her way. Interior Carol's apartment. The doctor gone, mother and daughter arguing.
There's a seriously goofy man behind this. You are not allowed to block out that fact.
Do you really want to go back to the runt doctors and the emergency who keep telling us they can't help?
It lets a crazy man into our lives.
Come on! Why fight when we know how it will come out? This isn't like stalking or a string of pearls. You don't send this back.
Exterior New York apartment establishing day. Interior Simon's apartment. Shades drawn, Simon is in a wheelchair. The phone rings. He goes to answer, the phone across the bed so that reaching for the phone is a brief but difficult struggle. He grunts with pain, hope and anxiety as he answers.
Hello? Yes. Sure. Finally. How? Why finally? Because I called you so many times? Maybe 20? Oh boy, I was hoping it was something like that. You didn't get one of them, huh? Because, I mean, it wasn't only your office, it was your home hotel and the cigar club. You're like in San Francisco. No, sarcastic. Of course. I believe in you. No, don't fire anyone, please. Maybe I'm wrong about the 20 times. Take a breath. So you missed me a little? Hey, strike the question. How's the case going? Really? Fantastic. I didn't hear. I haven't been watching. Great. Just great. I'm so happy. Whoopee me! Well, I'm mending. No, I look fine. Well, some of the damage might still be noticeable if you look closely. If you know what I
He
mean.
runs a hand across his scarred and still bloated and beaten face.
Carl, I need some help, and you're the logical one to turn to. No, not because I blame you for what happened. I hardly get how you can ever think that. No, I'm not being sarcastic. I guess because you hired the guy who did this, you think. No, I am a sarcastic person. Well, if you must know the reason I said you were the logical person is because you always told me how you thought I was this great person who made you feel good about humanity and everything. You do remember saying that. Well, I know. I knew. Okay, so Carl, I hate asking, but this money thing is ridiculously serious. So,
Up an index card from his nightstand and takes the leap, reading the text he prepared in advance.
will you please loan me money? I will pay you back. I will give you whatever percentage of my income. I don't absolutely need until I do. It will take a while, but I don't know what I'll do if you say that. I understand. Yes, no, I do. But you didn't even ask how much, Carl. Well, Frank has no right to discuss how much I'm in, Hawk. No, you're right. Not to the point. So, what have you been up to? Mm-hmm. Oh, the group show. How was it? Well, I'm not surprised that there's that much talent around. Mm-hmm. Great. Look, I gotta go. No, you shouldn't feel that way at all. Take care of you too. You too. Okay. You too. Goodbye. Bye.
It's very quiet. Long shot Simon, a lonely figure, who now holds his good hand up to his face and appears on the verge of an enormous emotional release. Camera moves toward him as if to rendezvous with the moment of catharsis. But Simon is denied even this small luxury as the camera abruptly adjusts just as he begins sobbing to focus on the door opening and Melvin and Verdell entering the room.
Maybe I'll bring him some food by.
Thank you for walking him.
Simon wheels away from Melvin.
If you'll excuse me, I'm not feeling so well.
Ah, it smells like shit in here.
Please go away.
That cleaning woman doesn't.
Please just leave.
Well, where are all your queer party friends?
Please get out.
Melvin pauses, Simon weeping. Verdell looks at Simon with concern. Melvin is thrown. Moved?
Nothing worse than having to feel this way in front of you.
Nellie, you're a disgrace to depression.
Rotten hell, Melvin.
No need to quit being a lady. Just quit worrying. You'll be back on your knees in no time.
Simon swings his arm and casts at Melvin. The sudden attack jolts Melvin, but not as much as what follows.
Is this fun for you? Well, you lucky devil. It just gets better and better. I am losing my apartment, and Frank wants me to promise to paint hotter subjects and to beg my parents who haven't called for help, and I won't. And I don't want to paint anymore.
Melvin has made for the door. Simon blocks him.
So the life I was trying for is over. The life I had is gone. And I'm feeling so damn sorry for myself that it is difficult to breathe. Right times for you, huh, Melvin? The gay neighbor is terrified. Terrified! Lucky you, you're here for a rock bottom. Me wallowing in self-pity in front of you, you absolute horror of a human being.
As Simon works to stop crying, Melvin is weird with discomfort.
Well, I'll do one thing for you that might cheer you up.
Get
Hey, don't piss on a gift, tough guy. You want to know why the dog prefers me? It's not affection. It's a trick.
Simon looks up, his mood turning on a dime. He's rapt. Melvin comes and stands by his wheelchair.
I carry bacon in my pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Now, come on. We'll both call him.
Come on, sweetheart.
Yo.
Verdell goes like a bullet to Melvin, who is totally surprised and staggered by the implications. True love and such.
Would you leave now, please?
It's a stupid dog. I don't get it.
He exits, looking apologetically at Simon in stoic ruin. Interior Carol's apartment, living room night. Carol in bed on the pull-out sofa. She is in turmoil. There is thunder, but no rain. She walks to the kitchen. She is trembling as she drinks a glass of water and exits. Interior Beverly's bedroom, night. The room is on an air shaft, and this is where Carol shares a closet with her mother, who is now asleep. Carol quietly extracts a dress from the closet, leaving her nightgown on the floor. There is something sexy here, the woman in Carol churning. She plops on a summer dress. No time for underwear. Exterior Brooklyn Street, night. Carol seeing a bus and dashing after it. Exterior Manhattan Bridge, 2 a.m. Carol crossing to Manhattan.
I'm here.
She looks as if she's on her way to some final exam where she has no notion of the subject. Exterior New York City Street, near Melvin's building, night, rain. Hot summer night as she gets off the bus, and now the rains come. We're in a familiar neighborhood. Angle on Melvin and Simon's apartment house. As Carol consults the slip of paper with the address on it. Interior New York apartment building, night. As she enters the building and realizes it's not just that she's wet, the thin summer dress is a winner with any t-shirt contest, the fabric clinging to her breasts like the old movie poster of The Deep. As Carol passes Simon's door, she stands in front of Melvin's apartment, twists herself to ease nervousness, and knocks on the door. Then rings the bell. Finally, Carol hears muffled throat clearing on the other side of the door.
You all?
Carol, the waitress?
Yes.
As we hear him unlock the door, Carol looks at her breasts and gasps. She grasps the fabric and holds it straight out just as Melvin opens the door. His hair is static city, standing on end, and he periodically gives it self-conscious pats.
The doctors had your billing address. I'm sorry about the hour.
I was working. Can't you just drop me a thank you note?
That's not why I'm here. Though you have no idea what it's like to have a real conversation with the doctor about Spencer.
A note. Put it in the note.
Why did you do this for me?
To get you back at work so you can wait on me.
But you do have some idea how strange that sounds. I'm worried you did this because
She pauses, the beginning of an extraordinary long silence. Finally,
Are you waiting for me to say something? What sort of thing do you want? Look, I'll be at the restaurant.
I don't think I can wait until tomorrow. This needs clearing up.
What needs clearing up?
I'm not going to sleep with you. I will never, ever sleep with you. Never, not ever.
Melvin's reaction? Well, he'll never get credit for the brief but intense inner struggle, the struggle not to scream, not to cry, to possess the sudden and sending hurt during his half turn away from her, and then answer hoarsely.
I'm sorry, we don't open for the no sex zones until 9 a.m.
Carol is amused, surprised maybe, in some small, clever way taken by his style, but top priority is clarity.
I'm not kidding.
Okay. Anything else?
Just how grateful I am.
Her mission completed, she turns.
So you'll be at work.
Yes.
Interior Melvin's apartment. It is 3:22 a.m. as the two digital clocks in Melvin's nightstand tell us. He gets up, the first time we've seen his waking routine, taps one foot on the floor twice, then the other foot. Two more taps and his body angles from the bed in a deliberate way. He is having anxiety. He sits at the piano and plays very briefly, stops, wipes some sweat from his forehead, walks to his computer room, turns the light on and turns off quickly, walks to his refrigerator. Interior Melvin's apartment kitchen, inside refrigerator, as he grabs a cardboard takeout box. Walks over, knocks on Simon's door. It opens quickly. Simon's apartment.
I took a chance you were up.
Simon walks painfully back to a chair.
I brought you Chinese soup.
Thanks.
I've never been so tired in my life. Okay, if I sit here?
Got any easier questions?
Melvin sits and moans, the dog sitting near him.
I haven't been sleeping. I haven't been clear or felt like myself. I'm in trouble. Some son of a bitch is burning my bridges behind my back with tiredness. Boy, not just sleepy.
But sick, nauseous, where everything looks distorted and everything inside just aches. When you can barely get up the will to complain.
Yeah,
He feels a
Yeah.
touch of community and not knowing where to take it from here.
I'm glad we did this.
He rises and makes an awkward exit.
Good talking to you.
He exits, Simon puzzled and concerned. Interior Carol's apartment night. Carol seated working on a letter. She is trying to express her gratitude. An enormous sheaf of completed pages sits next to her. She is so involved she doesn't even look up as the young man, Sean, knocks on the door and is let in by Beverly. They exchange greetings and move inside, where we faintly hear Spencer greeting him. We move in and read over Carol's shoulder. I'm sorry to have gotten sloppy and emotional in this letter, but it would have been on my conscience sick forever if I didn't tell you how grateful sick. Beverly.
Yes, Beverly.
Bottom.
Because you're not still writing that thank you note.
I'm on the last page. How do you spell conscience?
CONSCIENCE. I got Sean from the bakery to babysit, so let's go out.
I still don't feel safe leaving Spencer with someone. How do you spell it again?
Spencer is okay. You better start finding something else to do with your free time. If you can't feel good about this break and step out a little, you ought to get Mr. Udall to, get you over to a psychiatrist.
I don't need one because I know what's really going on here. I have to finish this letter or I'll go nuts. This can't be right. Science?
Carol breathes heavily, gets control, stopping herself on the brink of crying.
Carol, what?
Carol is amazed at herself that she might not be able to stem the flow. Wide-eyed with apprehension, she looks at her mother, who in return only nods permission for Carol to let it go. A last defiant snort from Carol, and then she is overwhelmed. The headline comes first.
I don't know. It's very strange not feeling that stupid panic thing inside you all the time. Without that, you just start thinking about yourself, and what does that ever get anybody? Today on the bus, there was this adorable couple, and I felt myself giving them a dirty look. I had no idea everything was
Go ahead.
moving in the wrong direction, away from when I even remembered what it was like to have a man to anything hold fucking sorry hands with, for Christ's sake. I was feeling like really bad that Dr. Betts is married, which is probably why I make poor Spencer hug me more than he wants to. Like the poor kid doesn't have enough problems. He has to make up for his mom not getting any. Oh boy, who needs these thoughts?
Look, Spencer's doing fine. So what you're saying that you're frustrated.
Leave me be. Why are you doing this? Why are you picking at my sores? What is it that you want? You want what? What's with you? I hope getting me thinking of everything that's wrong when all I want is to not do this has some purpose. What is it, Mom? No kidding.
Slumped, fought out, Carol lets out one last naked, husky voiced question.
What is it you want? What?
I want us to go out.
A beat, then
Okay.
interior Carol's apartment, Spencer's room, hallway night. As they enter, still wiping away the effects of their cry.
Going out.
Like fun.
She kisses Spencer, almost getting involved in what he's doing, then sees her mother waiting.
Okay, we're out of here. I love you.
Spencer nods, involved with Sean. Camera follows Carol as she exits the apartment, her mother leading. Halfway down the stairs, she stops and reverses herself, going back to the apartment, which she re-enters, then to her son to ask,
You love me?
Uh-huh.
Carol exits. Exterior street near Carol's building. Beverly and Carol walking past the store windows, a simple and unprecedented experience in their recent lives.
Nice to get out, isn't it?
Carol nods tightly. Then they wrap arms around each other and continue walking, turning into a corner bar. Interior Carol's restaurant, close on Carol. As Carol stands nervously while Lisa finishes reading her 14-page letter. In the background, Melvin and Frank are seated at the same table and in a conversation. Lisa keeps flicking away tears, a few drops on the pages.
Don't get it wet.
Lisa brushes the paper, finishes, and embraces Carol.
So it's okay?
You almost have me liking him. You sure come from the heart. I never knew what you went through with everything.
I wanted him to know how much he'd done. Can you believe he's eating with someone?
On Melvin and Frank.
It's not my dog, and Simon seems to have enough on his mind, but he did throw up twice, and the spark is off.
Sure. Take him to a vet.
I did, and his stomach is out of whack, so they need him for a couple of days.
Do it.
Melvin.
She self-consciously hands him with a thick envelope.
What's this?
A thank you note for what you did for me.
He hands it back to her deliberately. She takes it and walks back to the service area where, embarrassed, confused, and messed with, she tosses the note. After Carol leaves.
She's nice.
Really nice. Shouldn't that be a good thing, telling someone no thanks required?
It looks like it really went over. You're sure making the round. Simon says you brought him soup last night. Hope he doesn't write you a note.
Melvin looks up, wary, his brain sending a disturbing message.
What?
What? Look at you. You sent some mark.
Hey, you called me.
About a dog.
Yes, but it's all about Simon now. You helped with the dog, and now there are other things. I'm just as concerned as you are about Simon.
Concerned? I'm just the hall monitor here.
It's not only financial assistance. What he's got to do is go to Baltimore tomorrow and ask his parents for money. It's not going to happen on the phone.
Yeah, if his parents are alive, they gotta help. Those are the rules. Good.
Yes. And tomorrow, I have a high maintenance selling painter coming through, so I'm out. Can you take him?
Think white and get serious.
Carol enters scene.
Take my car. Convertible. Do you drive?
Like the wind, but I'm not doing it.
Getting loud. Getting loud.
He wants me to take his car and his client to Baltimore.
I want your life for a minute where my big problem is someone offers me a free convertible so I can get out of this city.
She exits. Frank prepares to depart.
Okay, I'll take him, get him packed, ready just tomorrow morning.
Frank stumbles back, self-satisfied. He relaxes.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Let's not drag this out. We don't enjoy it any that much.
There's some mental health foundation that raises money to help people like you. Be sure to let me know.
Last word, freak.
Frank adjusts and exits. Carol approaches, calling goodbye to him.
So, anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my queer neighbor a lift to Baltimore.
Okay.
Hey, what I did for you, it's working out?
You did change my life.
She offers him the note.
No, thank you, notes.
Well, part of what I said in this entire history of my life, which you won't read, is that somehow you've done more for my mother, my son, and me than anyone else ever has. And that makes you the most important, surprising, generous person I've ever met. And that you be in our daily prayers forever.
Lovely.
I also wrote one part. I wrote, I'm sorry. I was sorry when I got mad at you when you came over and you told my son that he ought to answer back. So I wrote that. I was sorry for busting you on that. And I'm sorry for busting it on you that night when I said I was sorry. And I'm sorry every time your food was cold and that you had to wait 2 seconds for a coffee filler.
Melvin wants to disappear, but Carol is getting into it, emotionally moved by her own words.
And I'm sorry for never spotting right there at the table in the restaurant the human being that had it in him to do this thing for us. You know what? I'm just going to start from the beginning. I have not been able to express my gratefulness to you. Even as I look at the word grateful now, it doesn't begin to tell you what I feel for you.
And finally, Carol notes Melvin's mood and pauses.
It's nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I want you to do something for me.
She looks at him for a very strange long beat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't I say what? I thought I said what? What?
I want you to go on this trip.
No, sir.
I can't do this alone. I'm afraid he'll pull the stiff one eye on me. I need you to chaperone. Separate everything but cars. You said you liked convertibles. Now I'm on the hook.
The stiff one eye?
2 days.
I can't. I work.
You take off when you have to.
My son.
Betts tells me he's doing fine.
No, then I'd rather not.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Honey, I thought it was a strong point.
Write me a note and ain't she sweet? I need a hand and where'd she go?
Are you saying accepting your help obligates me?
Is there another way to see it?
No.
Interior Carol's apartment, Beverly's bedroom. Carol takes an old weekend cake down from the top shelf of the closet.
Well, here's a little suitcase, shocked that it's been used.
She holds up a dress, a pretty one, then decides it's too pretty and puts it back. Now she looks in another drawer and pauses as if she ponders one of the mysteries of the ages. She hesitates, then talks to herself. Her best underwear neatly stacked alongside her everyday girl jockeys. She fingers the good stuff, puts it back, then the everyday, hesitates.
There's no way to pack for this trip. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not packing the camera.
As she exits the room, interior Carol's apartment, she picks up the phone. Inside Melvin's apartment, he is in his bedroom. Everything he's taking neatly stacked in it on the bed, waiting to be packed. He's taking a camera. He has a list of what he needs, all items, underwear, socks, etc., with 4 checks next to each one, and he checks each stack on the bed and adds another check. The phone rings. This is an amazing development. He has almost no recent experience with receiving a nighttime phone call. He makes a little comment to himself as he moves.
Ooh.
He stops, briefly trying to remember where the phone is, and then remembering, crosses and picks it up before bringing it to his mouth nervously as he clears his throat. On Carol, as she hears his throat being cleared. It is not a pretty sound. The following conversation is intercut.
Hello?
Are you still coming?
Yes.
Melvin visibly relaxes.
Melvin, I'd like to know exactly where we are going.
Just south to Baltimore, Maryland. I know what you're going to ask next. That you might ask. I'm not certain.
There's no need to bring anything dressy, or, I mean, I didn't know if we'd be eating at any restaurant that have dress codes.
Oh, we might. Yes, we can. Let's.
Okay, gotcha. What did you think I was going to ask?
Whether crabs are in season there now.
Oh, okay then, Melvin. Good night.
Interior Carol's apartment, Beverly's bedroom. Beverly looks up expectantly at her as her daughter enters.
How was it talking to him?
Stop treating this like I'm going away with a man. He's just going to say those crappy, sick, complaining, angry things to me. I hate this, Mom. I hate this. He's a freak show, the worst person I ever met.
Well, maybe he has nice friends.
Exterior Carol's apartment building day. Beverly and Spencer wait with her. The bus approaches. She kisses them.
You stand there and I'll wave to you from the back window.
As she boards the bus.
Call me as soon as you're settled.
I love you.
The bus driver closes the doors on her. She shoves them open.
Sensitive, huh?
The bus pulls out. She runs after the bus, waving at his mother, and who grows concerned that he might be texting himself. Interior veterinarian's waiting room day. A female veterinarian in surgical scrubs hold Riddell as Melvin finishes filling out some forms. On opposite sides of the waiting room, a very large black dog and a tiny chihuahua sit patiently with their owners. Anything unusual in the dog's diet?
No. Everybody get their own cage?
Certainly.
Put him in with that one, not that one. It builds his confidence.
Exterior bus stop near apartment building, New York, day. Carol disembarks. Exterior apartment building as she walks and turns a corner. A close on Carol, the shot of the prisoner taking the walk around the death chamber. But the prisoner has grit. Her knees do not buckle. She does not whimper. No prison screws will have to support her weight. Still, the prospect couldn't be grimmer. Carol's point of view. Melvin next to a spiffy convertible, top down, trunk open. Closer on Melvin. He is wearing driving gloves and turns to witness the tussle Frank and Simon are having just inside the building.
I'm sorry that I'm not taking you.
Am I, Frank?
Frank starts to leave. Simon stops him. They embrace.
Soak it up. It's your last chance at a hug for a few days.
As Frank moves off, Melvin sees Carol and his demeanor changes. That quickly, there is a...
Hi.
Oh, thanks for being on time. Carol, the waitress. This is Simon, the homosexual.
Hello. Oh my God, who did that to you?
I was attacked. Walked in on people robbing me. I was hospitalized. I almost died.
Yeah, let's do the small talk in the car. Load up.
Carol puts her bag in the car.
I was going to do that for you.
It's okay, no problem. Where should we sit?
Well, there's no place cards or anything.
Let me go in back. You look like if you need all the room you can manage.
That's very thoughtful.
Never a break. Never.
Carol steps into the back. Melvin's disappointed that he's not sitting next to Carol. Carol is wedged in the small back seat. She struggles to get her feet in.
You're really jammed back there.
He reaches for the latch between his legs and slides his seat, and with some effort, wrenches it forward, giving Carol more room and putting his right against the wheel. She is startled by the gesture.
Thanks, Melvin.
You're welcome.
And off they go. Simon and Carol stunned by the manners. Exterior 12th Street, turning onto 5th.
I got the whole ride programmed.
Camera follows as Melvin goes to a rack of CDs, all carefully labeled. He selects and begins to play the one marked Icebreaker. It is a song which we clearly and quickly judge off of the circumstances, a quick burst of YMCA. Melvin stops the music and chuckles.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to see what you do. No, we have greatness here.
He goes for another CD labeled For Use to Wrap Things Up. The car turns to 7th and we hear beautifully selected music.
Hey, I like this music.
And as the music plays, Simon looks out. Exterior road day. All three of them, Carol chattering away.
I don't know the last time I've been out of the city. Hey, my arms are tanning. I used to tan. Great. We got to stop soon so as I can check on Spencer.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't turn my head all the way yet. Tell her we can't hear her.
It doesn't matter. She's enjoying herself. Consider her part of the music.
Exterior road day. A short time later, Carol is now driving.
I'm sure, Simon, they did something real off for you to feel this way. But when it comes to your parents or your kid, things will always be off for you unless you set it straight. Maybe this thing happened to you just to give you that chance.
Nonsense.
Anybody here who's interested in what Melvin has to say, raise their hands.
Simon does not raise his hand. Simon and Carol have thus declared their majority.
Do you want to know what happened with my parents?
Yes, I really would.
Well,
No,
I'll
let me pull over so I can pay full attention.
Car pulling over to a parking spot. Exterior highway curbside convertible day. She takes the car curbside and parks.
Now go ahead.
Simon looks back at Melvin as does Carol. He looks innocent. Several beats. Melvin almost says something. A hidden hand gesture from Carol stops him. Finally,
Well, I always painted. Always. And my mother always encouraged it. She was sort of fabulous about it. Actually, and she used to. I was too young to think there was anything at all wrong with it. And she was very natural. She used to pose nude for me, and I thought or assumed my father was aware of it.
This stuff is pointless.
Hey, you let him.
You like sad stories? You want to hear mine?
Go ahead, Simon. Really, please. Don't let him stop you. Ignore him.
Okay, well, one day my father came in on one of those painting sessions when I was 9, and he just started screaming at her, at us, at evil, and
My father didn't leave his room for 11 years. He hit my hand with a yardstick and I made a mistake on the piano.
Go ahead, Simon. Your father walked in on you and was yelling and really. Come on.
I was trying to defend my mother and make peace in the lamest way. I said she's not naked. It's art. And then he started hitting me and he beat me unconscious. And after that, he talked to me less and less. He knew before I left for college. My dad came into my room. He held out his hand. I was filled with money, a big wad of sweaty money, and he said to me, "I don't want you to ever come back." I grabbed him and I hugged him. He turns and walked out.
Carol, whose life has been rugged but basic, feels as strange as she does moved by Simon's trauma, which is much more complicated than her meat and potatoes troubles. She looks out her window, then kisses her fingers and touches them to Simon's cheek. A nice, understated gesture of friendship.
Well, you know, I still say what I said. You've got to get past it all when it comes to your parents. We all have these horror stories to get over.
Melvin shifts into the frame.
That's not true. Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. Just not anybody in this car. But lots of people, that's their story. Good times and noodle salad. And that's what makes it hard. Not that you had it bad, but you're being that pissed that so many had it good.
No.
Not it at all, really.
Not it at all, huh? Well, let's go to the hotel, and if you're lucky, tomorrow Dad will give you another wad of sweaty money.
Interior hotel suite, living room, Carol's room, day.
2 bedrooms and the sofa open.
Carol is on the phone in the living room. She hangs up.
No answer. Maybe we should just drive out there tomorrow. Can I have that one?
Yes, sure. I'll take the sofa.
Carol walks into her room, the nicest room she'll ever have slept in. She goes to the phone and dials.
Hello? Hi, Spencer. Why are you out of breath? You did? That is great. So great. So, no, wait a second. Spence.
Interior hotel suite, Melvin and Simon's hotel room. Melvin watches Simon struggle to unpack his especially neat suitcase. Melvin is uncomfortable.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Simon laughs loudly in apprehension.
Do you ever get an erection over a woman?
Melvin,
Wouldn't your life be a lot easier if you were not?
you consider your life easy?
I'll give you that one. Nice packing.
Interior hotel suite, living room. Carol enters the common living room. Melvin is sitting there. Carol is dealing with a number of unsettling new factors in her life.
My son was outside playing soccer. I never saw him playing ball. Come on, you guys. Take me out for a good time. Take me out dancing.
Dancing.
I can't. I'm exhausted.
Carol walks to Simon and puts an arm on him. Melvin is visibly disturbed by her gesture.
I don't blame you. This is a monumental first day out. You sad or anything?
No, nervous. It would be very rough, Carol, if you weren't along.
What a nice compliment.
She gives Simon a kiss. Melvin deals with jealousy. She turns to him.
I'm happy. And you're my date. Let's get dressed.
She exits the room, Melvin unnerved.
I'm going to jump in the shower. I'll be right with you.
Interior hotel suite night. As Carol, dressed in a thrift shop find, enters the main room of the suite and hears the shower running, she sits down to wait through a series of dissolves, showing the enormous length of time which transpires until finally a seriously clean Melvin emerges from the bathroom with a cloud of steam. They exit. Exterior first-rate restaurant night. As they drive up.
Good evening, sir.
Do they sell hard-shell crabs here?
Yes.
Interior first-rate restaurant night. As they enter.
Good evening.
Hi, you have hard shells, right?
Stop asking everyone.
Just him and that's it. Okay, you can answer. I worked it out.
Yes, we do. And I can give you a tie and jacket.
What?
They require a tie and jacket, but we have some available.
He reaches into the coat and check room and withdraws them.
No, I'm not wearing that. And just in case you were going to ask, I'm not going to let you gentlemen play either.
You promised a nice place. Can't you just... You have these dry cleaned all the time, don't you?
Actually, I don't think so.
Wait here.
Exterior first-rate restaurant as Melvin takes his car back from the valet. Exterior street shopping mall. As the car goes right across the street to the shopping mall. Melvin walks to a doorway and stops suddenly.
Good evening.
I need a coat and tie.
Camera reveals that the floor is intricately patterned so that passage for Melvin is impossible.
Come on in.
No,
No?
that jacket. And give me a tie.
Exterior first-rate restaurant night. As he pulls up, a new valet taking his car.
A good evening.
Do you have hard shells?
I'm not sure.
Everyone else says you do.
Then I guess we do.
Interior first-rate restaurant. As he enters, looks for and then spots Carol. She is having a martini at the bar, sitting on a stool watching couples dance, happy by herself, turning down a man who wants to buy her another. And Melvin watches his date.
Shall I get her for you?
No, it's all right. I'll just watch.
He enjoys watching her for a few more beats. He turns. Melvin makes a haul your ass over here gesture, and she smiles and walks toward him. The waiter has lifted her drink, placed it on a tray, and follows her. She takes a bit of a shalom course through the tables, giddy as the music plays and couples dance in the background. She notices the waiter on her trail.
My drink is following me.
Melvin watches her approach. It is all too exquisite. He takes a breath. It doesn't come easily.
You look...
She stops herself from saying sexy, regathers, then.
You look great.
They arrive at the table. He holds out a chair for her.
You want to dance?
I've been thinking about that since you brought it up before.
And?
No. I don't get this place. They make me buy an outfit, but they let you in with a house dress. I don't get it.
On Carol, Melvin has no idea he has insulted her. Sandbagged in extreme, she gets up, actually ready to leave.
No, wait, what, why? I didn't mean it. You got to sit down. You can still give me the dirty look. Just sit down and give it to me.
Melvin, pay me a compliment. I need one, and quick. You have no idea how much what you just said hurt my feelings.
That moment that somebody gets that you need them, they threaten to go away. Never fails.
That's not a compliment, Melvin. That's just trying to sound smart so I feel stupid. A compliment is something nice about somebody else. Now or never.
Okay.
He waves her down.
And mean it.
Can we order first?
She thinks and then nods. The waiter is across the room. This does not stop Melvin.
2 crab dinners and a pitcher of cold beer. Baked or fries?
Fries.
1 baked, 1 fries.
I'll tell your waiter.
Okay. I got a real great compliment for you, and it's true.
I'm so afraid you're about to say something awful.
Don't be pessimistic. It's not your style. Okay, here I go. Clearly a mistake. I have this, ailment, and my doctor, a shrink who I used to see all the time, he says 50 or 60% of the time, a pill can really help. I hate pills. Very dangerous thing, pills. Hate. I am using the word hate about pills. My compliment is that when you came to my house that time and told me how you'd never, you were there, the next morning, I started taking the pills.
I don't quite get how that's a compliment for me.
Amazing that something in Melvin rises to the occasion, so that he as uncharacteristically looks at her directly. Then,
You make me want to be a better man.
Carol never expected the kind of praise which would do so slip under her guard. She stumbles a bit, flattered, momentarily moved, and his for the taking.
That's maybe the best compliment of my life.
Well, then I've really overshot here because I was aiming it just enough to keep you from walking out.
Carol laughs.
So how are you doing with those pills? Well, I hope. I hope.
It takes months to know. They work little by little. I gotta tell you, talking like this is exhausting.
Carol moves to the chair next to him. She sits very close. He tenses.
Have you ever let a romantic moment make you do something you know is stupid?
Never.
Here's the trouble with never.
Tight shot for the kiss. Their faces are close. She looks at him. She closes her eyes, her face moving toward him. He is wide-eyed and afraid. His face almost moves away. In a shot this close, it's almost light. But now his head moves back and he receives her kiss. It is brief. Carol smiles encouragement to him and herself. Melvin can't bear the pleasure.
You don't owe me that.
That wasn't payment. When you first came into breakfast, when I saw you, I thought you were handsome. Then, of course, you spoke. So now that your soft little underbelly is all exposed, tell me, why did you bring me?
Melvin's voice is soft, hesitant. Okay, vulnerable. As she holds it up his hands in a stop signal.
Well, that's a personal question.
Tell me, even if you're scared, tell me why you wanted me here. It's okay.
She kisses him again.
If you ask me, I'll say yes.
There are lots of reasons. I had a thought that if you had sex with Simon, it might.
Sex with Simon?
It's one idea.
That's why you brought me? Look at me. Is that really why you brought me? Like I'm a what and I owe you what?
I don't know why I brought you. That idea occurred to me is all. It came out first. Hey, you kiss him. He says he loves you. You two hit it off, but you don't want to. Fine. Forget what I said about sex with Simon. It was a mistake.
I'll never forget you said it.
It was a mistake.
But she has already turned away and exits the restaurant. Melvin alone and miserable. Interior Simon's hotel room night. He finishes dialing. He's extremely tense, not breathing. A lump in his throat. Trying not to let the anxiety immobilize him. The number rings twice. Then a humorless male voice. Hi, this is Fred Bishop and Betty. We're sorry to be unable to take your call right now. Please leave your message and we'd appreciate your including the date, time, and purpose of your call. Simon mouths the word date. Then Betty speaks before the beep bye-bye.
This is Simon. I'm here in town. And folks, if you haven't come home later than 10 in your lives, please pick up. Really? Okay, I'm going to call again in the morning. I need to see you, or at least get you to answer the phone.
He hangs up. His parents want no part of him, and he needs help. Interior hotel suite, Carol's room night. As Carol enters with some energy, we follow her as she goes into her room, takes her suitcase, begins throwing things in. Interior hotel suite, Simon's room.
Hello? Hello?
Carol thrusts open the door and enters.
Was this supposed to be your room?
Our room. I don't want to see him, and he's not going to come knocking on your door.
Simon struggles with his shirt. She helps him, inadvertently venting some anger as she does so.
Can you not be violent?
I don't think so. You need help with the pants?
No.
I'm going to take a big bath and order a big meal.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. You okay?
Well, considering everything's horrible and tomorrow I have to face my parents, don't ask me. I'm sick of my own complaints. Gotta get me a new set of thoughts.
Why? What have you been thinking about?
How to die, mostly.
Can you believe in our little mix? You're the good roommate?
Simon laughs as she crosses to the bedroom and begins to paragraph.
Good night.
Good night.
We are on Simon settling in for sleep when instinct or sounds or the faint glow of hope turns him so that he faces the bathroom and we have Simon's point of view. Carol sitting at tub's edge, a towel around her, and now as Simon looks as the bathing beauty, she adjusts her hair. The towel falls, a better than perfect breast exposed. Back to scene.
Hold it.
He leaves the bed. Angles on hotel desk. What's he up to? He takes the blotter from the desk set and a pen from his jacket pocket, which hangs on the chair, and with vigor and faint pain, moves to the other side of the bed where he turns on the light and stares at Carol.
Oh, yeah. I got to sketch you.
No, absolutely not. I'm shyer than you think. I give the wrong impression sometimes, and
I haven't been thinking about sketching for weeks.
stop staring. Do a vase.
But you're beautiful. Your skin glows.
Thanks, but I just want to take a bath and
That long neck, the line of you, your porcelain. Porcelain, thank you. That's what happens when you know. Yeah, your beauty is killing my thoughts. Your back goes on forever. You're classic. You're white cape.
All right, cut me a break. Just stop.
Simon's pen moves across the blotter. Carol sees him earnestly engrossed. A beat of indecision, and then shyly but deliberately, she lowers the towel. He's right. She's breathtaking. Interior bar night. Melvin sits alone nursing a drink. He's been talking to the bartender.
So then the next thing I know, she's sitting right next to me. And then, well, it's not right to go into the details, but I screwed up. I got nervous. I said the wrong thing. And if I hadn't, I can be in bed now with a woman who, if you could make her smile, you got a life. Instead, I'm here with you, who, no offense, a moron pushing the last legal drug.
He sits there, just another Joe on a bar stool with his heart breaking. Interior hotel suite, Simon's room, close on Simon night. He's excited, smiling. We hear Carol also revved.
I don't care how you put it. We're being naughty here, pal.
Full shot, Carol holding a pose for Simon. He is holding a ballpoint over the back of a hotel desk blotter, his style cramped by his cast.
No. This is great. This is so great. I can get the angle with this cast, like your French girls. I mean, damn.
He struggles with the cast and then decides to struggle no more. Summoning remarkable strength, he rips a piece from the cast, freeing his hand. He roars, ironically, a lion's roar of liberation. He is back at his center. Interior hotel suite living room day. Melvin is having room service breakfast. The door opens. Simon enters. A new Simon, better than ever, clearly happy, a morning afterglow.
Did you have sex with her?
Carol follows him out. Her arms are filled with the hotel soaps, shampoos, etc.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize she was right there. Did you have sex with her?
To hell with sex.
Carol looks at Melvin. He can't meet her gaze.
We held each other. It was better than sex. What I need, he gave me great.
I just love her. Hell yeah. How are you doing?
Melvin reacts. Interior hotel suite day. Simon finishes dialing the phone. A brief wait, then.
Hello? Hi, Mom. I can barely hear you. Do you have to whisper? No? Don't apologize. It was the luckiest thing for all of us that you didn't answer last night. I can hear you. Okay. Okay, dear. Just listen to me then.
On Melvin and Carol. Melvin has been reduced to straight talk as Carol brings the bathroom bounty into the room and begins to put it in her suitcase.
I get why you're angry. It's no snap to explain why I was like that, but let's not try to do it on the run.
So, Mom, truly no grudges. Truly, a little odd that you didn't come to see me when you heard I was hurt. But the important thing is, I want you to know is your son is happy. I'm working again. I'll make do. I don't want a thing. Wouldn't take it if it was offered. I'll drop you a note from wherever I land, and then it's up to you. I hope we patch things up by now. If we don't, I wish you both the very best. I can't hear you. You heard me? Though, right? Good? Okay, take care. Bye.
He hangs up, totally satisfied with himself, and rips over to Carol and Melvin.
Now he's going to want to stay and they'll want to take a ride to the lake or whatever. So it's a good 5 hours back. Gives us a chance to take it easy and
Simon, how was the phone call with your parents?
I'm going back with you.
But what about...
I'll take care of myself.
what are you talking about? You got real problems.
I know I'm a little bit nervous. Suddenly everything seems so easy. Carol, load has been lifted. More ways
What?
than
One night.
You think you're
You're
kidding?
Melvin stalks out. Exterior highway day. A car parked near a phone booth.
Jesus. No choice.
Carol walks up to Simon in the car.
I got a gift for you.
She hands him a baseball cap.
Nothing like no choice to make you feel at home.
Let me see. Ah, gorgeous.
We'll do it then. Get the dog picked up. I can't believe you let it stay there.
Melvin hangs up the phone.
Goodbye. Well, your luck is holding. They sublet your place. You're homeless. Frank's got a line, another place you can use for now.
Another place where?
Does it matter?
Melvin gets in, goes to the glove compartment for a special CD labeled for emergency use only, as it plays a confessional love songs.
I don't want to hear that music right now.
What do you mean? You said you liked it.
I don't.
This one has a special meaning.
It's your car, but I don't want to hear it. If that means anything.
Melvin hesitates and turns off the song in mid-proclamation of love. Exterior apartment building, New York. As the car arrives, they get out.
Here are the keys to my apartment. I'm going to park you in my place while I take Carol home.
I'll take a bus.
I'll take you. Why not?
I don't care what you did for me. I don't think I want to know you anymore. All you do is make me feel badly about myself. You have my number.
I love you. Let him take you home.
Don't want to. I love you too.
She shakes her head and walks off. Simon looking at Melvin with some sympathy.
Don't say anything.
Interior Melvin's apartment kitchen, where Verdel's ears prick. Interior apartment night as they enter.
I told you to go on in.
Look, I've got to get a hold of Frank and see where I'm hanging my hat, because...
The door opens, revealing them.
I think you got to camp it here.
What are you talking about?
The dog vaults toward them, all else forgotten, as the dog greets his two favorite people and they talk to him.
I know the feeling. You feel like your old self again, huh? Mommy and Daddy are home.
Melvin reacts.
Sorry, you're fun to mess with.
Melvin gets up. Simon notices some of his paintings.
Yeah, they took your place furnished. Jackie said she grabbed your personal stuff. They were supposed to set you up here. There's this extra room I never use. It gets good light. No other answer, really.
Simon follows. Interior Simon's new room, night. As they enter the room, cleaned and organized, a small but lovely garret.
Thank you, Melvin. You overwhelm me.
You did a nice job. Cozy, huh?
I love you.
Melvin looks at him finally. Pretensions fall.
Well, I'll tell you, buddy. I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
Interior Carol's apartment night. As Carol unpacks, she gives gifts to her mother and Spencer, but clearly something gnaws at her psyche. Interior Melvin's apartment bedroom. Melvin's 2 digital clocks are 2 minutes apart, each around 1:55 a.m. He sits in a chair, still fully dressed, forlorn, Verdell in his lap. A beat, then we hear Simon's whispered voice.
Where's my big hairy boy?
Melvin is alarmed. He stops breaking as his gay house guest approaches.
Verdell, sweeties?
Melvin breathes again. Simon enters the room.
Sorry, I didn't know you were awake. I just thought Verdell shouldn't get too used to sleeping here, because then, you know.
Look, we both want the dog, and
The phone rings. They look at each other. Melvin doesn't move.
Should I get it?
Melvin nods. Simon walks into the next room, several beats as he finds the phone. We hear him pick it up and
Hello?
on Simon.
Hello? It's me. You took me in. Did you know? Hold on, I'll get him for you.
He walks back to Melvin's room. As he enters,
It's Carol.
Melvin is quickly out of his chair. The dog in one minute, he thrusts it at Simon.
here, take the dog.
As he speeds out,
Good luck.
interior Melvin's apartment living room. As Melvin picks up the phone, he clears his throat loudly. Following this intercut between Carol and Melvin, the first such cut showing Carol blasted by the throat clearing.
Hello?
Yeah, well,
How you doing?
I can trust my brain.
That seems like a good choice.
I don't know whether I'm being sensible or hard on you.
The two might go together.
See, there's an example. I don't know whether you're being cute or crazy now.
Cute.
You don't have to answer everything I say. Just listen to me, okay?
He nods his head yes.
It's really something that you're looking after Simon. And what I said on the street, that was a bad thing to say. And it made me sick to my stomach. It was a bad thing to say, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that I enjoyed your company. But the truth is, you do bother me enormously, and I think that it's best for me to not have contact with you because you're just not ready, and you're a pretty old guy to not be ready, and I'm too old to ignore that. But there were extraordinary kindnesses that did take place. So thanks for the trips.
She's just broken up with him, but she's being nicer than ever. It's hard to know whether to die or not.
Is it okay to say something now?
Go ahead.
I should have danced with you.
Okay. Goodbye.
So long.
Carol hangs up. She feels strange. The shoe hasn't dropped. Oh hell, she misses him. Interior Melvin's apartment, living room. Melvin walks in anxious circles in the living room. He is impatient.
You gonna come talk to me or not? Simon, god damn it, come in here.
Come in.
He enters the room carrying Verdell, who strains to be allowed closer to Melvin. Simon releases him.
What'd she say?
I'm a great guy, extraordinary, and she doesn't want contact with me. I'm dying here.
Because you love her?
No. And you're supposed to be sensitive and sharp.
Okay, you tell me why. You're dying here.
I don't know. Let me sleep on it and figure it out. Because I'm stuck. I can't go back to what I had. She's evicted me from my life.
Did you like it that much?
It was better than this. Look, I'm very intelligent. If you're going to give me advice or conversation or consolation or hope, you got to be better than you're doing. If you can't be at least momentarily interesting, then shut the hell up. I'm drowning and you're describing water.
Picking on me won't help.
Well, if that's true, then I'm really in trouble.
But you know where you're lucky?
Absolutely not.
You know who you want I'll take your seat any day. So do something. Don't sleep on it. Go over there. I don't think anybody should ever sleep on anything. It's not always good to let things calm down.
Hey, I'm charged here, but you might kill me for showing up this late.
Then get in your jammies and I'll read you a story. I think you've got a chance. The only real enemy you have is here is her ability to think logically. The best thing you have going for you is your willingness to humiliate yourself if it gives you one chance in whatever or so catch her off guard thing.
Okay, thanks a lot. Here I go.
He moves for the door, stops suddenly, jolted.
What's wrong?
I forgot to lock the door.
Exterior Carol's apartment building. As he parks, he exits the car, now wary, looks at his watch, hesitates, walks reluctantly into the apartment house. Interior of Carol's apartment building vestibule. As Melvin looks at Carol's doorbell with great uncertainty. Interior Carol's apartment. Carol in a cotton wraparound dress bathrobe, sitting directly in front of the fan. The windows open, reading one of Melvin's books. There is the briefest possible sound of a doorbell. Someone has jabbed her downstairs button ever so briefly, so briefly that she missed her doorbell until the same brief sound repeated. She walks to her wide open window and looks over. Her point of view. The convertible at the curb. Back to scene. She hesitates. Interior Carol's apartment building. As Melvin gives up this and starts out, turning as the sudden blast of being buzzed into Carol's life sounds. He bolts for the door and enters. Interior Carol's apartment night. She opens the door. He hears the sound of Melvin sounding heavily up the stairs. He reaches her side.
What do you want, Melvin?
Were you asleep?
What do you want?
Because if you were asleep, I'm sorry. You could be grouchy.
Grouchy?
Because of being woken up, and it would make my job impossible. So then I wouldn't even try.
What job?
Were you asleep?
What are you doing here?
Another angle. Beverly in the hallway looking on.
I'm sorry I woke you. Some other time.
He half turns to leave.
I wasn't asleep.
What a break.
Is it a secret what you're doing here?
I had to see you.
Because
It relaxes me. I'd feel better just sitting on the curb in front of your house than any place else I can think of or imagine.
Carol has not ever heard anything like that before. It's sort of sexy in its sincerity. Another angle. As we see in the background that Beverly, standing near her door down the hallway, has heard at least part of it. Melvin, of course, cannot leave well enough alone.
Now, wait a minute. I'm overstating here. Maybe the inside stairs. I don't want to sit with my feet in the gutter. What does that serve? It only...
But suddenly Carl is shouting to the heavens. Carol is shouting to the heavens.
Stop it. Why can't I have a normal boyfriend? Why? Get out of here. Just a regular boyfriend who doesn't go nuts on me.
Everybody wants that, dear. It doesn't exist. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
She disappears into her room. Carol snorts a laugh, gathers herself a beat.
Boyfriend.
Oh, come on in and try not to ruin everything by being you.
Maybe we could live without the wisecracks.
She looks at him. Then,
Maybe we could.
Melvin glances at the cracked pattern of Carol's kitchen linoleum and stalls at the door.
It feels a little confined here. Let's take a walk.
See, it's 4 a.m. A walk sounds a little screwy to me, if you don't mind.
Well, if you need an excuse, there's a bakery on the corner. There's a shop that'll open soon. That way we're not screwy. We're just two people who like warm rolls.
Okay.
Exterior street near bakery. They walk quietly, Melvin still walking with his usual attention to where he steps. Carol's point of view, Melvin walking. And though we can see an improvement, it is still decidedly strange as he conspicuously avoids stepping on the lines. Back to scene. Carol sighs. It is the sound of possibilities crashing down. Melvin looks at her embarrassed, self-conscious, his habits making him appear unworthy.
I'm sorry, Melvin, but whatever this is not going to work.
on Melvin. He takes this hard. It forces him to half whisper something that hasn't at all said to himself. Given his history, this is an extraordinary intimacy.
I've been feeling better.
Melvin, even though it may seem that way now, you don't know me all that well. I'm not the answer for you.
She starts to turn. He tugs at her arm. As she turns back to him,
Hey, I got a great compliment for you.
You know what?
Just let me talk. I'm the only one on the face of the earth who realizes that you're the greatest woman on earth. I'm the only one who appreciates how amazing you are in every single thing you do, in every single thought you have, and how you are with Spence, and how you say what you mean, and how you almost always mean something that's all about being straight and good.
on Carol, she stands on the precipice of being transported away from the logic, which has been her lifeline.
I think most people miss that about you. And I watch, wondering how they can watch you bring them food and clear their dishes and never get that they have just met the greatest woman alive. And the fact that I get it makes me feel great about me. You got a real good reason to walk out on that?
That last question, clearly a true question, not the least rhetorical. She considers her answer, then,
No, it's certainly not. No, I don't think so. No.
I'm going to grab you. Well, I didn't mean it to be a question. I'm going to grab you.
he kisses her, an awkward bomb of a kiss. They separate. A tense beat, then
I know I can do better.
they embrace again. He does indeed do much better. A first-class smooch. Camera moves down to see his foot land squarely on a crack in the sidewalk without his knowledge. They break, look at each other without a notion of where to take it from here, and they almost in unison begin to walk away from camera. Melvin following a path that avoids cracks. Suddenly, the lights of the bakery turn on as it opens for business.
Warm rolls?
They walk to the bakery, Melvin avoiding the cracks. As they enter the bakery, a worker moves toward them to clean the entranceway. Melvin, forced to step back onto a crack, this time notices, registers the momentous fact, and joins Carol inside as we fade out. The end.